Prison is never easy. Not for the prisoner or for his family. "59-year-old Sarhak Shahinyan was a taxi driver in Yerevan, Armenia's capital, when he pleaded guilty to selling 7 grams, a quarter of an ounce, of marijuana. He now says he didn't do it, and that his punishment, 5.5 years in prison, has cost him dearly. Armenia's prisons are overcrowded. Meals are served in damp cells, and there's almost no medical treatment. Sarhak had a heart attack here, and now urgently needs surgery that the prison system won't provide. Stories like Sarhak's have some in Armenia and the surrounding region asking questions about the prison system.
Our courts justice system tends to convict people to imprisonment and for rather long sentences.
Human rights advocate Anna Malikian says Armenia's courts are too quick to sentence criminals to long prison terms. And inmates don't serve their time alone. Since Sarhak has been in prison, his wife Ruzana has been struggling. Very few Armenian inmates are released on parole. Sarhak has applied 5 times, and more than a quarter are behind bars, even though they've not been convicted. Anna is advocating for a whole different approach.
What we would like to have is more types of alternative sanctions so that the courts have a choice which kind of punishment to assign.
Anna's work is financed and made possible by the United Nations Democracy Fund, which is promoting alternatives to imprisonment in Georgia, Azerbaijan, and Armenia.
We are reforming our prison system now.
Suren Kurmoyan, Armenia's Deputy Minister of Justice, says his government will revamp its criminal justice system.
It means using some electronic monitoring systems for keeping there at home.
As Armenia plans its reforms, it's looking closely at Georgia, which was forced to develop alternative sanctions by a widely reported scandal. When this disturbing video was broadcast in 2012, Georgians were appalled. They learned that juvenile inmates were often physically and sexually abused. Georgians took to the streets on the eve of an election to demand action. The opposition party won after promising to transform the criminal justice system.
After elections, there was a huge amnesty adopted by the parliament.
Georgi Arsoshvili heads Georgia's new probation agency. He says thousands of prisoners were released, and the period of post-prison supervision was dramatically shortened. Probationers check in once a week and are offered counselling, vocational training, and employment.
We cooperate very closely with the private companies to hire the probationers for a job.
The agency helped these probationers get work renovating this building. Georgi is especially proud of this newly opened halfway house. After being in prison, non-violent inmates can finish their sentences here.
Here we have class.
Inmates get training, play sports, and even get paid work. Malhaz Koposashvili, a trucker, has been here for 9 months after serving 4 years in prison for smashing into a car. He and other convicts are allowed to leave the halfway house every weekend.
ვერ შეხვდებოდი საზოგადოებად.
Committing a crime doesn't mean that you should be deprived of any rights that a person, a human being, should have. You do serve your punishment, but it doesn't mean that you stop to exist or you shouldn't benefit from those rights that you have.
To all probationers, I can tell just one thing. We really want them to be back in society.
Georgie has no doubt back in society is where men like Malhaz, who's being released from prison today, belong. This report was produced by Susan Farkas for the United Nations.